Hi, thanks for joining me. I'm very excited about sharing some of my favorite books with you. First, we're going to start with the books for a younger child, and that would be our That's Not My series. This is one of them. It's That's Not My Bunny, and That's Not My Bunny has nice rounded corners, thick pages for that small reader, and lots of bright colors and simple pictures inside. But best of all, each picture has something for them to touch. So even a young infant can run their hand along and feel that different texture. And this one says it's not my bunny because its paws are too rough. So there's that great association, that tactile learning of this is what rough feels like. So some soft, some woolly. So also some samples from that collection are That's Not My Fairy because her dress is too shiny. And some beautiful pictures inside. And then, of course, one for the boys, which would be That's Not My Truck, because it's too squashy. So in this series, there are about 45 different titles. A lot of people are familiar with Usborne because of the That's Not My series that's very, very popular here in the U.S. Another favorite series is our dual level readers. And a sample of that would be our Farmyard Tales. Now, Farmyard Tales is one of the classics with Usborne, so if you're familiar with it, you probably have heard of this, or of Stephen Cartwright. Farmyard Tales, as I said before, is a dual level reader, and what that means is here at the top, it's a very simple sentence. It's filled with sight words that children can sound out themselves if they're learning to read, or if you're reading to a younger child, you can just stay at the top of the page and read the story completely. For a young reader, they read here at the top, and then you can read this companion sentence that's generally a little longer, has a few more words in it, as well as multiple sentences, and you can read along with them. All of Stephen Cartwright's books have this little yellow duck hidden on the page, so each page a young child can go through and look for the duck. So it's a great search activity, also something fun, so as they're learning to read it, they can take a break and find look for something on the page. This particular story collection, it's one of our combined volumes, which means it has 20 different stories all in the same binding, and it comes along with the read-along CD. So it's something I just recommend. Pop it in the car and have a story time as you're going from place to place. I'm running throughout town. So Farmyard Tales. Also from that series is the fairy tales. It has 6 of the classic fairy tales in it: Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Red Riding Hood, 3 Little Pigs, Rumpelstiltskin, and Snow White. No, not Snow White. Goldilocks. Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. But it has that dual level reader, so it's a beautiful story collection for a little girl. It's great for boys too, but they have to get over the purple cover. And then one of the last that's from this combined volume series is the Bible stories. This has stories from both the Old and New Testament. It has that dual level reader aspect to it. It just doesn't have a little yellow duck hidden on both pages. And it also comes with a read-along CD. So it's a fabulous gift book for some new parents. Also great to listen to in the car. So Bible stories. Another combined volume. So one of the other things that Usborne does very well is our activity books. And I have some collections, some different ones here, but I'll start off. This is one of our beginning drawing books. It's I Can Draw People. And what's beautiful about this is a child that's a non-reader, so a young non-reader can follow the pictures, can follow along, and draw something without being able to read. So there's this particular book's the I Can Draw People. There's also an I Can Draw Animals in this same format, but not only angels, but there's giants. Once they master drawing a giant, then they also give some ideas of what they can do on the pages to add to their drawings. So great with a set of crayons, a new drawing pad, even colored pencils. It's a great gift book. So I Can Draw Animals. Other things from this series that I just love that they kind of added to is the 20 thank you cards to color. Thank you cards, the written note is kind of a dying thing, that it's a very important aspect to teach our children gratitude. So if it's something, what they can do is they can draw one, color on one of the cards, and then write a little note. Each one has a little place for a note on it, and then it has a matching envelope. So they can put it in the mail and say, you know, thank you for coming to visit, or thank you for that lovely birthday gift. And then they also have a piece of a work of art to put on the fridge. This is something along that same lines, but they're note cards to color. So it's different activities they can do, but then you can put a stamp on it and send it off to a relative that lives far away to brighten their day. So you can share artwork with them. This is one of our customer specials, and it's called a doodle a day. You can see it's a little slightly older for slightly older children, where they will have kind of an open page. It gives them an idea of what they can draw, and add to. Of course, here's some owls, and they can add some faces to it, whether they want to with pencil, pens, colored crayons as well. So that is the doodle a day. There are actually 366 because they counted for leap year in this particular book. So lots of different activities. You can find that on the customer specials. And then lastly, similar to the I Can Draw Animals, it's the step-by-step drawing book. And this particular one, it combines actually the artist pad along with the activity. So here you can learn how to draw an owl, and then it has empty space where they can practice it over and over again. So it's not something that they do all in one sitting, but they can build off of. Here's how to draw a dragon. Yeah, lovely. Love our drawing books. And great step-by-steps, or for that advanced drawing that wants to add more to it. For our preschoolers, early ed, here's another classic from Usborne. It's There's a Mouse About the House. What's fabulous about this book, it's great for a children that has a hard time sitting down because it gives them something to do with their hands. So what they do is, they take the mouse out of its home, and then they follow the dotted line. So it's great for working on that hand-eye coordination and those fine motor skills. They'll put it through the slot, pull it through, and then follow the dotted line. They're always going left to right in the book as to learn how we read books. And then it also has great vocabulary for under, over, so for sentence structure, they're learning all sorts of things. But what they love to do is you can read it to them a couple times, but then they'll go through it and tell it to themselves. So this is just one of those very unique books that you don't find anywhere that the children love to do over and over again. And he goes through all sorts of different adventures, and eventually he thinks he finds the cheese, but I'll hold it and let you find out what happens. So there's a mouse about the house, and then the companion story that goes with it is A Squirrel's Tale. Similar, where the squirrel is going through the forest, waking up all of his friends to find his stash of nuts. He does not know where he put them. But similar to the mouse, where you take it out and go page to page on the dotted line. Now, as we get older, we have some picture book selections. On the Moon, one of my personal favorites of our picture book series. It's a great early nonfiction, so it talks about travel to the moon, but in a picture book series. So very simple stories. It would be a great bedtime story read, as well as learning that it takes 5 days for a rocket ship to get to the moon. And why does the moon look so tiny? Because it's so far away. So great illustrations for any of you space lovers out there. On the Moon, and others like it would be the Under the Sea. Beautiful illustrations, and just talks about life. And then we also have some of the classics in this series, and that's one example would be the Gingerbread Man. So the gingerbread man running around trying to stay away from the fox. Another activity for those younger, for that elementary age, would be the 1001 Animals to Spot. This is a fabulous card book, something to have in the car as you go from place to place. For the younger readers, or the non-readers, it's great just for number recognition, so that they see that this is the number 6, and they're looking for 6 of these, which happens to be hens. But very simple, where they can count out, so it's fabulous where they are sequencing for their numbers, learning sequence, as well as number recognition. But there's pages and pages of different things. All of this are different animals that they'd find in this particular ecosystem. They also have some search books for older elementary students that are Great Animal Search and a couple other search books for the older readers. And then Usborne is known for their internet links. They were the pioneers in this, in that in our most of our nonfiction books, what you'll see is where they have internet references. So they don't actually list the URL in the book, so the minute that URL or that website changes, the book doesn't get outdated. Instead, Usborne is fabulous about they will link it through their website. So you go to the usborne-quicklinks.com website, and then you tell them the name of the book you're reading and then what page you're on, and it will have 4 or 5 different websites that you can go to. So this particular one is our science encyclopedia. So every page that you see here has the URLs listed, where you can go to the Usborne-Quicklink site and go and learn more about, in this particular case, it'd be wind energy. But there's body in here, there's physics, there's earth and space. So it actually has 8 different science books combined in one. This particular paperback book, this lovely encyclopedia, is $20. In that same series, you also see the geography encyclopedia and also history. This is one of our collections that you can get all 3 of these. Well, they're kind of heavy, for $53. So it's a great reference set to have in your home, and even for non-readers that want to learn about the plague or fun and games in Roman times. They're fabulous illustrations and some great bite-sized chunks of knowledge for them to take a look at. So great reference for your home. So that's it. I had a hard time narrowing it down to 5 books. So it's 5 different series that we have. Go back to the Facebook party, check them out, and let me know how I can help you. Thanks for listening.